Hi everyone, welcome to a new vlog. This is going to be the last vlog of the Egypt series. I'm currently sitting in Cairo in my hotel, which is La Meridian Cairo, and we have a flight at 8 p.m. It is in the afternoon now, around 2 p.m. So I have some time in hand, so I thought of making this informative vlog just to answer some of the questions that you may have while you were watching the playlist. And some of you have also messaged me separately on Instagram and personal messages, so I just thought of making this while I wait for my flight. The airport is just adjacent to the hotel. So starting off, the visa. So we did our visa ourselves. We did not take the help of any tour operator, so it is an easy online process. You go to the e-visa website, which I'll put in the description below, the link to the website. You just go and fill in the information. You might need a guarantee letter, so we booked some tours with a tour operator, just some tours, not the whole trip, just some of them, and they gave us a guarantee letter. So it might be required to get approval of the visa. We got the approval within 24 hours, so it was quite simple. So when we landed in the Cairo airport, immigration was very smooth, but additionally the immigration officers actually took $15 of $15 US of registration fee at the airport. Money exchange, we had carried some US dollars and euros, which we converted into Egyptian pounds, some at the airport and some outside also you can do, but at the airport the rates were quite okay, so we converted it there. But coming to money, so here mostly people accept all major currencies. So apart from Egyptian pounds, you can also make payments in most of the places by US dollars and euros, and I think also Great British pounds. So major currencies are accepted here, and also there are ATMs all around, so you can also take out money from the ATM. So cash is not a problem, and they also accept major cards. Mostly Visa and MasterCard works here perfectly in almost all the hotels and restaurants. Some of them are cash only in restaurants, the very local ones. Some of them which we went were very local ones, if you've seen the playlist. So some of them had only cash, but cards were accepted in major places. Okay, now coming to our itinerary. So I'm just going to tell you how many days we spent in each of the places that we went to. And just to mention, this trip of ours was completely self-planned by us. It took almost 2 years to actually get the itinerary perfect, and perfect for us. So the things that we wanted to do and the things that would excite us, because there are lots and lots of things you can do in Egypt, because it's a big country. And we had a 2 weeks trip, like 14 days. So 14 days with 14 days we could do the major sites, mostly the historical side of Egypt. But you can extend your trip and do other places also, or if you want to do a shorter itinerary, you can just see the places that we have done and pick places from there, whichever you like. So the places that we did are Giza. We kept 2 days for Giza. Then Cairo in the beginning of the tour, we did 2 days of Cairo, and at the end of the tour we did 2 more days of Cairo. So total days in Cairo we did is 4 days. Then Luxor, 2 days. Aswan, 2 days. Abu Simbel, 2 days. And Alexandria, 2 days. So these are the number of days. These are the number of days we spend in each of these places. Now I'm going to go place wise now and tell you what are the tours we did in each of these places, so that you have an idea. I have already mentioned the entrance fees of historical sites in the vlogs. So if you want to know the specific entry fee of a specific temple or tomb, then please follow the vlog from the playlist, the respective vlog. But in this vlog I'm going to give you the cost of the entire tour, which sometimes includes the entrance fees and sometimes it didn't. So I will mention that as well. I'll mention the details. So starting off in Giza, we stayed at a boutique property called Pyramids View Inn, which has a beautiful view of the Great Pyramids of Giza and the Sphinx. So from there, while we were in Giza, we did a tour of Saqqara, Memphis, Dahshur and the Great Pyramids of Giza. So we did all these sites in one day as a single tour, and we booked it with our hotel, and we paid $80 per person, which included private car, guide, driver, lunch, and it excluded the ticket prices to each of these historical sites. Like there was entrance fees to each of them, so excluding the tickets, and I have mentioned the ticket prices in that vlog, so you can go and follow that vlog to know the individual ticket prices. So that was one day that we did that, and another day from Giza only we did the Grand Egyptian Museum. So we did not take a guide for this, we just took a car from our hotel itself, and the car costed us $30. And also in Giza, the first day that we landed, we went to Khufu's restaurant, which is for an exclusive dinner after the pyramids close. Like after the public entry to the pyramids close off, there is a special dinner organized by Khufu's, which you have to pre-book at least a month in advance. So we went there for the dinner, and the transfer to and fro to our hotel was, we had taken it from our hotel itself, and it costed us $30 going and coming, both return charges. Now coming to Cairo, so at the beginning of the trip in Cairo, we stayed at another boutique property called Gamalaya Boutique Hotel, which was in the heart of Khan el Khalili at a street called Mue Street. It is a 1,000-year-old street, so it was quite nice to stay in such a historic street. So while in Cairo, we did a tour of Coptic and Islamic Cairo. So that was one tour that we did together, Coptic and Islamic Cairo. It included the major sites in these two places. You can watch the detailed vlog. So we booked this tour with a company called Cairo Top Tours, who actually, just to give you context, we booked 3 tours with Cairo top tours and 2 transfers and a train with them. So 3 tours, 2 transfers and 1 train with Cairo top tours. It was a whole package that they gave to us. So the whole package costed us $990 US, but I will try to give you the individual prices of each of these tours and transfers and train that we took from them. So for Coptic and Islamic Cairo, it was around $105 US per person, which included private car, guide, driver, lunch, and also the entrance tickets to the mosques and churches, basically the sites of Coptic and Islamic Cairo. So this was one full day tour. Then while staying in Gamaleya, we booked a transfer with them from the hotel to the airport for our flight, domestic flight to Luxor. So the airport transfer costed us $25 US. Now when we were back in Cairo, at the end of the trip, we stayed at, like now I'm staying here, so we're staying at Le Méridien Cairo Airport Hotel. While in Cairo, in the last 2 days, we did the Egyptian Museum and the National Museum of Egyptian Civilization. So both of these we did not take a guide, but we actually took a transfer from our contact at Pyramids Viewing, the contact person at like from our hotel in Giza. He's such a nice man, Mr. Kamal. So we took the transfer from him. So basically it was a car given to us for 6 hours and costed us $50. So while also in Cairo, we did the cave church. So we did that while on our way from Alexandria to Cairo. So that is a beautiful church, and we did that with Cairo Top Tours. We booked the transfer with the Cairo Top Tours, who gave us a guide also. So that costed around $90 US.
Yeah, transfer with guide.
Yeah, transfer with guide was around $90 US for 2. Yeah, so it was around $45 US per person, $90 US for 2. Now coming to Luxor, we stayed at El Hana Valley View. It was a beautiful guest house in the west bank of Luxor. So a lot of hotel chains are in the east bank of Luxor, and there are these guest houses, boutique stays, homestays in the west bank, which is not very developed as of now. So it's not very busy, it's beautiful, it's the quieter side of Luxor. While in Luxor, we took a package from our hotel which included a sunset felucca ride, pickup from the airport, east and west bank tour of Luxor, transfer to Aswan with stops at Edfu Temple and Komombo Temple with guide and private car. So the pickup from the airport, that was just car. Sunset felucca ride, they dropped us to the felucca point, and we did the felucca ride and they picked us up from the point. East and west bank tour, it was included with guide and driver. Entrance tickets were not included. Transfer to Aswan with stops at Edfu and Komombo Temple So guide was included, driver was included, entrance tickets were not included. So all of this that I mentioned, this whole package costed us $530. Now coming to Aswan, we stayed at a place at another boutique stay called Vanascato. So it is a little bit far from the downtown in a quieter side of Aswan, but it is it has a nice view of the boats and the marina, etc. But if you see the vlog, it was not a very good stay. So if you're looking for a stay in Aswan for one night, it's fine, but we wouldn't recommend it because the owner is he has a lot of ego and a lot of attitude. So he was the worst person that we met in our Egypt trip, so I would not recommend it. So if you get some other property in Aswan, that would be better. But if you cannot find anything, then we stayed at Vanascato. You can stay for a night, maybe a night is okay, not more than that. So while in Aswan, we did the Philae temple. We booked it with the hotel. There was no guide. It was by boat. We went directly from our hotel because it's close by. The Philae temple is close to the hotel, and it costed us $11 in total. And we also booked a car from to and from Aswan downtown with the property itself. We had gone to the Old Cataract Hotel, so that also costed us $11. We also booked a car from the hotel to this train station, as we were taking a train from Aswan to Giza. So that car costed $8. Now coming to Abu Simbel, we stayed at a property at another boutique guest house called Abu Simbel Guest House. It was a very nice property. We booked their highest category room, and it was like the view was amazing from there. There was the village, the view of the village and Lake Nasser. So it's a wonderful one, and the owner is also very nice, Ramadan. While in Abu Simbel, we booked a round trip with the owner to transfer us from Aswan to Abu Simbel and back to Aswan. So it was not on the same day. So we came to Abu Simbel, from Aswan to Abu Simbel, and then went back to Aswan in the next day. So this transfer costed to and fro costed $160. Now while in Abu Simbel, we also did sunrise boat tour in Lake Nasser, which we booked directly with the owner of the guest house. So that costed us $50 for a big boat. Now next, Alexandria. So in Alexandria, we stayed at a 3-star boutique historical hotel called San Giovanni Stanley Hotel. It's a very old hotel, and it had a very beautiful view of the Mediterranean Sea. Like even our room, we had booked a suite. It had a very beautiful view of the Mediterranean Sea and the iconic Stanley Bridge of Alexandria. Basically, we booked a car from Cairo Top Tours, the train and the car basically. So from Aswan, we took a train to Giza, which the tickets of which was booked by Cairo Top Tours. Now the ticket costed, each ticket, it was a sleeping train, and just the two of us, it was like a coupe. So that costed us $105 per person, the ticket price. And after that, the Cairo Top Tours people, they picked us up from the Giza railway station and transferred us to Alexandria. While in Alexandria, we booked a tour of to go around the major sites of Alexandria. So the tour was booked with Cairo Top Tours, and it costed around 125 USD per person, so which included the guide, private car, the entrance tickets to these historical sites, and also a lunch at a premium seafood restaurant of our choice that we had mentioned that to them. Otherwise, tour operators mostly include lunch at a buffet place. Again, we transferred back from Alexandria to Cairo, doing the cave church. So yeah, this was basically each place, this was an overview of what other tours that we did in each of these places that we went to in Egypt. Now, if you want like an itinerary, like which place we went first and how it went. So basically we went to Giza first, we took the flight from Kolkata and landed in the Cairo International Airport. We did Giza first for 2 days, then we did Cairo for 2 days, and then from Cairo we flew to Luxor and then did Luxor for 2 days, and then from Luxor we drove to Aswan. And then we stayed in Aswan for a night, and the next day we took a car and drove to Abu Simbel. Then we stayed in Abu Simbel for a night, and then we took a car and came back to Aswan again. And then the next day we took a train from Aswan and went to Giza railway station. From there we were picked up from Giza railway station and transferred to Alexandria, where we spent 2 days, and then we came back to Cairo and spent 2 more days. So this was our itinerary that we followed. I have mentioned all details about the things that we did, like detailed places, entrance tickets, everything in individual vlogs of the Egypt playlist, so you can go and check them out. But this is basically the itinerary that we planned ourselves, and it was executed with the help of some of our hotel contacts of the properties that we stayed at and from Cairo Top Tours. Now, before I conclude this vlog, I want to mention a few things to keep in mind while you're visiting Egypt. So the weather. So basically we came at the end of September, beginning of October. So the weather is quite warm in the day. So bring your cottons and linens for the day trips. But it can get a little bit cold in the evening, but not super cold that you need a jacket or a sweater. If you are prone to feel cold, then a little, a shawl or something would be nice, but it's not very cold. Then clothing, where there are no restrictions on clothing as such. So if you wear anything, the public here, the local people, or even the administration will not say anything to you, but just out of respect for culture, for the local culture, and also to protect yourself from the heat, it is recommended to dress modestly. Tipping. So tipping culture is huge here. So basically anything that you pay for, even after that people expect a tip. So what we did is basically in restaurants and all, if we see that there was a service charge included, then we did not give a separate tip, and it was not expected also in those restaurants. But if in places where there was no service charge or anything, then we left something. And then if you go use public washrooms, even if it is like inside a historical site, which you're paying a hefty entrance fee to enter, even then if you use the washroom inside the sites, you're expected to pay a tip to the attendant over there. So keep small Egyptian currency notes like 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 20 pounds in hand, so that you can use them to give tips. Another thing to keep in mind is nothing is free here. So if someone is in any historical site comes and says that they will take a picture for you. So if they take a picture for you, you're expected to tip them. If you take a picture of of people's camels or horses, or someone's a vendor's something that they're selling, you are expected to pay a tip. So just remember that. And well, despite many vloggers talking about the restrictions on recording, I did not face any restrictions anywhere in Egypt, in all the places that I visited, even in museums. Like today, I did go to the Egyptian Museum and the National Museum of Egyptian Civilization, and I used my GoPro, and no one had any problem with that. So I think the issue is when people use big recording mics, which has those fluffy, what do you call that, the big fluffy
the dead cat mics.
Yeah, the big ones, the dead cat mics. And also people when they have those big cameras and they record with those big cameras is when they have a problem, because they think that you're doing a professional shoot and not a personal shoot. So just remember that if you're taking GoPro and discrete mics like mine, this one here, so it's when they don't have any problem with that. No one really stopped me recording anything. And the security personnel are actually quite nice, despite all the negative videos talking bad about them. No one was rude to us. So, and one more thing just to keep in mind while you're recording, just don't record any police officers or army, because you shouldn't. It's a normal thing that you would do in your own country. You wouldn't go around recording police officers and army, and you should be fine. And then food is great. We love Egyptian food. Meat is mainly chicken and beef. You get good fish in coastal areas, or where there are rivers and stuff. For vegetarians, options are less, but it is there, it is available. And don't worry about losing out on currency conversion. If you have like US dollars and you want to pay by Egyptian, if you have US dollars and if someone is charging in Egyptian pounds, they actually take the direct exchange rate. They don't really mark up prices for forex or anything. So don't worry about currency conversion. If you have major currencies and Egyptian pounds, you're good in Egypt. And also a card. All historical sites, I have mentioned that in separate vlogs also. All historical sites, the payment is by card. So definitely carry your card, Visa and MasterCard only, because they don't take cash. So I hope I was able to answer some of your questions and provide you information about the places that we went to in our Egypt travel series, and the things that we did, the cost of tours, the cost of transfers, etc. So I hope you enjoyed our entire Egypt series. If you have any further questions, then please put them in the comment section below, and I will try to answer them as much as I can and as soon as possible. I hope you have a wonderful trip to Egypt if you're planning, and it is a beautiful country with a very nice people. You just need to be a bit mindful about who you can trust over there, but generally we actually met some genuinely nice people. So despite all the negativity surrounding Egypt, I think we did fine, and we did not face anything major or got scammed or anything. So yeah, it's been an incredible experience for us. A beautiful country, rich culture, rich in history, and such a childhood dream. I know this is very cliched, but a childhood dream being fulfilled. So we are going back tonight with full of memories, are all memory cards full of photos and videos. So I hope you also have an amazing trip to Egypt. I will see you again in some other travel series very soon. So if you liked this video and if you liked my Egypt playlist, then please like, share, subscribe. If you have any questions, like I mentioned, then you can put them in the comment section below. I also have an active Instagram. You can go and follow me over there. See you again in a brand new travel series in India or somewhere international.